Hi there, it's Albert Luck again from luckymaths.co.uk. This is another video for the Worked Solutions Paper 1B non-calculator version. Again, available on the website to download and use along with the other half papers for very good GCSE exam preparation. Okay, so straight in the first page, 1/5 as a percentage. Very common misconception might be for students to write that's 15% because they see a 1 and a 5. So to avoid that, possibly showing that if you break 100% down into 5 parts, it's 20% kind of per box. So therefore, 1/5 would be 20%. If I did that with 1 and divide by 5, then we would get 0.2 in a box, which we could then hopefully convert to 20% as well. Question 4, 2 lots of 5t, just to show again, 5t and 5t, makes 10t. Right, question 6. Money questions, quite good for the ratio table. If 1 drink is £3.50, 2 drinks will be £7, 4 drinks 14, and then 5 drinks will be £17.50. That's 4 drinks plus 1 drink. It says Bev pays with £20 note and she gets £2.50 change. So she spent £17.50 and bought 5 drinks. I will just briefly talk about question 7, as this has come from the recent November 25 GCSE paper. A lot of students struggle with the first bit, and it was just sometimes reading. Function's got 8 letters. 2 of those 8 letters are n's. 2 over 8 is equal to 1 over 4, 1/4. Pictograms, students are generally happy with. Hopefully, maybe just working with fractions, normally halves and quarters, or just adding information together. Scale, on the other hand, is a very good opportunity to use the ratio table again. If 1 centimeter is 5 meters, we know 2 centimeters is 10, 4 is 20. And for part A, where we've got the length as 6, if we add the 2 centimeters and the 4 centimeters, we will get 6 centimeters. So therefore, 10 plus 20 equals 30 meters. And it just so happens we've answered part B already because the width is 4 centimeters, which in the table we can see is 20 meters. To work out the real perimeter, 6 plus 4 plus another 6 and 4 is a total of 20 centimeters. So we can use the information with 2 centimeters and 10 meters to multiply that by 10 to get 20 centimeters is equal to 100 meters. Okay, question 10 about sequences. But 11, just chosen to use visuals, like two lots of S, 2 10s are 20, but below there's kind of a 6 to show that a 6 is taken away because we're trying to find out what's left over. Basically, you've got 2 boxes of 10 on the top, so the total there is 20, and below we're showing that it's the same space, it covers 20, it's just we've got 6, so therefore you're left with 14 because ultimately 20 take away 6 equals 14. 11b, I see a lot of mistakes with signs. So for this topic, collecting like terms, so your pluses and minuses get mixed up, and that's kind of, you could argue, an easy mark to kind of give away. So the solution to that, and this is me using a visual algebra tiles kind of method. The 4f's I've just split up, so we've got them on the top row. The minus 5f, I've again separated those into each individual one and written them below. An f and a minus f, like 1 take away 1, if you like, cancel each other out, so they become 0. That's why I've crossed out. There are 4 pairs there, which I use the term 0 pairs. They don't, they cancel each other out. They're gone, and so 4 minus 5, which would be negative 1. 4f minus 5f, therefore, is negative 1f. The e's, we've got 2E, and we've got a plus E. So in that box there, I've not done any kind of cancelling, because I did say a plus and a minus cancel. And here we have 3 E's. 2 E's and another E makes 3 E's. Okay, recipes. When you're working with recipes, again, I think the ratio table is a very good tool to use, again, for doubling and halving. And with 12 cupcakes, if you half it, you get 6. 12 plus 6 will make 18. And then when you've been given like an amount, in this case 500 grams of butter, I think the best strategy here is to work, so we'll double to 12 to 24, 24 to 48, and we can see that for butter it's 480 grams, which is for 48 cupcakes. But if we break the rest down, we've got 2 extra cupcakes, because that's the extra 20 grams that with the 480 gives you the 500 grams, which therefore 48 plus 2 shows you why 50 cupcakes is the answer. Multiplication and division, again, big fan of using the ratio table for those skills, because they work hand in hand. I've got a lot of students struggling with column multiplication, and the bus stop method, let's say, is not everyone's kind of favorite, especially if you don't understand something. So my argument is, why not learn to use a tool that will work for both these questions? Multiplication, 124 lots of 65. If you can double 65 and double it again, you've already got the 4 lots. We can see 4 lots is 260. But to get the 20 lots, I manipulate the 2 lots. So by timesing 130 by 10, we get 1,300. And finally, because it's 124 lots, the 100 lots comes from manipulating the first column, 1 lot 65, so times by 100, 6,500 is 100 lots, and I've circled the red numbers on top, which add obviously to 124 lots. So we add the corresponding values below, and that gives obviously 8,060. But when you're doing division, it's exactly the same kind of process, except you're trying to make, the number you started with. So in this case, if we're dividing 675 by 15, I'm trying to basically spin that and say, right, how many 15s make 675? So we know 1 15, 2 15s, 34 15s are 60. But what I've done there, because I'm trying to get to 600, a quick way for me is to times 4 by 10 and say 40 lots of 15 therefore must be 600. And now the bottom numbers, obviously I've underlined, add up to 675, meaning the numbers in red at the top are going to be the answer. 40 lots plus 4 lots plus 1 lot is where I get 45 lots of 15 from. And this final question involving flour and sugar, I've chosen to use, again, quite visual to show basically each box represents a kilogram. On the top row there, flour, 675. So I've drawn 3 boxes because that's 3 kilograms. We divide that by 3 to get 1 kilogram of flour is 225. And the second model I've drawn, I've got the boxes representing flour, and then I've got the 2 circles to represent the sugar. We already knew from the first bit what the flour costs, 225. So if we add 4 of those together, 4 kilograms of flour equals £9. And because we know the total is 1430, we know these 2 sugars cost £5.30, which, if you half, ends up with £2.65 for each sugar. Again, I hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching.